Hey there, YouTube. What the fork is up? Golly gee, we're having some good old times over here at the News Underground over on Twitch. Oh, shucks. Oh, golly gee. We're having a good old time at the hoedown over here at News Underground. We're going to jump into some news about the USA. We got our favorite orange, I would say the F word, but I can't say the F word. So I just poo-poo bad guy. Does that make the advertisers happy, YouTube? Please give me more subscribers, YouTube. 5 seconds on the right algorithm would change my entire channel. YouTube knows it. All right, let's get into it. Add them all together. That's a cool name. All right, so I got some commie news. Get over it. Look, commies are still part of the conversation, even though they're annoying as hell on social media, and they have their own. Add them all together. Ooh, I love the icon. My goodness. This man's the whole package, folks. I can just tell just by looking at it. Please don't be a right-winger, Adam. Please don't be a right-winger spouting some nonsense, please. I have a lot of hope in you right now. You're just a bundle of potential right now. Please don't be a disgusting right-winger. Please. All right, anyway, like I was saying before, we got some commie news here. It's Means TV. Check it out. I'm a leftist. Hey, he's a leftist. Well, yeah. So is Tim Pool, apparently. Are you a Tim Pool leftist? God, serenity now. Make it stop. Tim Pool a leftist? Come on, man. We're still having this conversation about Tim Pool? Holy shit. All right. Means TV, commie news, get over it. Let's dig in. According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, there is not a single, this is amazing. There is not a single state in the U.S. that offers a minimum wage that would allow workers to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay. And if you don't think this affects you, you're dead wrong. Oh, I got a house, I got an apartment, I'm okay. I got backups, I'm okay. I'll live with my family, it's okay. This will lead to more crime. This will lead to more suffering. This will lead to an increase of, the healthcare system getting stressed. The externalities of situations like this are massive. And can affect your entire situation, the entire society. Okay? Speaking of MLK, we were earlier, rising tide raises all boats. It's 100% true. All right, so let's get into it here. Commie news from he's got a cool. I need one of these. These are cool. I should do this. I got a green screen. This is nice. I could do this. Yeah, the rent is too goddamn high. The rent is too damn high. My outfit is too damn fly. Remember that guy? I remember that. That guy's one hell of a dude. I like that dude. He's still around.
Workers are not earning enough wages to afford the most basic thing, a place to live. According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, the average individual now has to work more than 100 hours a week just to earn enough income to afford a 2-bedroom apartment rental.
That's sad.
100 hours a week. The group looked at average rents across the country and determined that in order to have enough money to afford a 2-bedroom.
My God, D-Live over here does not disappoint. You just revel in being a atrocious human being, huh? You just revel in that. You just love it. Are there family and friends that still hang out with you, Mr. Person from D-Live? I can't even say your name, dude.
From apartment and other necessities.
You're atrocious.
The average worker needs to earn over $28 an hour. And that's on average. In some states, it's way more. In New York, you need to earn more than $40 an hour.
I'll just ban him.
In Florida, it's over $30 an hour. In California, it's more than $42 an hour.
All right.
The current federal minimum wage is just $7.25 an hour. There's not a single state in the country that offers a minimum wage that would allow workers to afford a 2-bedroom apartment working just 40 hours a week.
Look, and this is important shit. Don't fall asleep. Don't click away. Don't click away. Don't fall asleep. This affects you. This is, and let me tell you, this is happening in the left and in the right areas. You know why? Because the left is captured by these massive real estate corporations. They're beholden to them. They don't want it. It's the same thing over here in Canada. The Justin Trudeau neoliberal left, totally captured by real estate corporations and big real estate money, right? And homeowners in general, because homeowners vote, right? So you have that situation as well. That just, there really isn't. There's not a lot of representation for non-voters and everything. But let me tell you, something's got to break here. This is going to lead to crime in the streets, to crime at your doorstep, people breaking into your homes, people, stealing more from stores, and, all kinds of negative, like I said, externalities from situations like this. It needs to be fixed immediately. And the fact that neoliberals, like the neoliberals in Canada are talking about it a little bit, but neoliberals in the United States, it is absolutely, where is it? Here it is. Right? When's the last time you've heard your local neoliberal talk about doing anything about how the cost of housing or the cost of living? Maybe at a local level, right? You do see that at a local level sometimes, but nationally, the Democratic Party is gone on this issue, right?
And 50% of workers in the country don't earn enough during a 40-hour week to even afford rent for a one-bedroom apartment, which requires on average
everyone on
a wage
DLive
of
is a
more than
groomer.
$23 an hour.
Sorry, I interrupted that with Woke Patriots' hilarious joke.
For 40-hour week to even afford rent for a one-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
Which requires on average a wage of more than $23 an hour. Bootlickers for capital like to claim that younger generations can't afford homes because they're spending too much money on avocado toast and shit. But no, it's because the ownership class's declining rate of profit over the last few decades has forced it to more aggressively exploit workers, to a point now that wages aren't even enough to put a roof over their employees' heads.
Rise up, proletariat.
This is an untenable situation. And to learn more about what happens next, read Marx.
Oh man, the timing on that, I love that. He's technically he's not wrong. Look, if you're gonna understand socialism, you better read a little Marx, okay? At least a little bit. The struggles that we face are class-based. That's a fact, okay? But I'll be goddamned if the majority of the United States will ever acquiesce to a system that allows the government to pick and choose who gets what house and who gets to live where based off of need. Take that shit and shove it right up your Marx hole, okay? Commies need to understand that some of this shit that came from Marx, some of these ideas, that make up the basis of communism, ain't happening. Well, it'll never happen until we reach a certain plateau, right? If say everyone has enough money, everyone has enough for, we're prosperous, you're right, and we'll actually slowly get to that, right? If we continue with this progressive future, we'll get more and more socialism, right? We'll get to a point where it's like, yeah, I don't care, the government gave me an apartment, after I got out of college. I've been living here for like 30 years. I don't know. I guess I'm just going to be here now, right? That'll become more and more normal as things get, that's the thing about communists that are driving me crazy. They all want this revolution. They want to fucking shove it right up you, right, as quickly as possible. But if they just continue implementing socialist solutions to capitalists' problems, we will eventually creep into what resembles really closely communism. But the timing on that, lovely. Hey, Unsatiable. Hey, absurdity is it's close to existentialism. It's close. Personally, I'm an existentialist kind of guy, but yeah, I got a lot of respect for my absurdist brothers. Right? Yeah, I prefer absurdity over nihilism, certainly. There's a lot of people that are like, what the fuck is he talking about? What is he's absurd? What? Should we start talking about Dada? Woke Patriot? Should we just have a nice long digression into the Dada art movement? What is he talking about? So we have some COVID news, by the way. Oh my God, this is just the stream completely off the rails. But we actually do have some COVID news. Interesting, who knows anymore, right? No, the gaslighters have won on COVID too. No one will ever believe anything about anything. And this is the sun. I mean, the sun, for God's sakes. This is the goddamn, here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Not exactly. Unsatiable. I like your schizo. I like where you're headed, buddy. COVID bombshell, folks. Holy fucking, what a fucking holy shit. It's a COVID bombshell. Which could actually be interpreted differently if you think what am I talking about? COVID patient 0, named as Wuhan scientist who conducted deadly tests on souped up virus. Bombshell report, bombshell, a fucking bombshell. Who's that? Is that Monster Machine that does that song Bombshell? Monster Magnet? Is that Monster Magnet who does that song Bombshell? It's Monster Magnet. Look up Monster Magnet. They're more entertaining than this stream. COVID, quote unquote, patient 0 was a Wuhan scientist carrying out experiments on souped up coronaviruses, a report has claimed. And look, let's not get too, silly here. The horrific reality. Okay, let me tell you something. Horrific. This is frightening, but this is true. The horrific reality is that the Chinese, United States, British, Japanese governments, many more are hiring and paying scientists to figure out viruses that could potentially target one ethnicity over the other. One ethnicity over the other. Yeah, exactly, Adam, altogether. But it is true though that the government is paying scientists to create bioweapons that would target specific races, you drop a bomb in Hong Kong and it's a chemical weapon that only kills Chinese people, and vice versa. It's split right down the middle, 50-50 in terms of information that verifies, oh, this was developed in a lab, versus like, oh, well, maybe it wasn't developed in a lab and it was some bat had sex with a monkey or something, some situation like that, right? But guys, we need, and this is why Woke Patriot, who is constantly reminding us about normalizing the military-industrial complex and normalizing the United States empire and normalizing empire in general, like, well, the United States is the good one, right? No, we need to challenge empire, right? Because COVID-19 could have killed us all. Are you fucking joking? The body piles are millions of bodies high already. Imagine if COVID was just 1%, but 5%, 1 to 5% more deadly. How many more millions would be dead? And there's a real possibility that this was a weapon designed in a lab, but it wasn't finished yet. That's not being crazy, right? So it's frightening, and we do need to check our military industrial complexes. This is outrageous if this is true. Some kind of super bioweapon, but it's the sun, so it's the sun, right? So, here comes the sun to lie to you. All right, let's just read it here. It's understood all three fell ill with COVID-like symptoms and needed hospital care before China disclosed the virus outbreak to the world. So that's what they're trying to say, is that these scientists, Ben Yoon has been named as one of the three Wuhan scientists. So these guys were hospitalized before the outbreak started. Until now, they've never been named. Several U.S. government officials have now identified the three scientists in a bombshell report by journalist Matt Shriver and Matt Taibbi. No! Oh! Moving on. Moving on. Hey, this is funny. You're sick of my comedy. You're sick of me. This is actually hilarious. I'm glad you stay tuned. This is to reward you for sticking around. This is hilarious. This is absolutely funny.
Now this gay marriage. They telling me I gotta get gay married?
Okay, Bobby, no one's telling you got to get gay married.
Too late! I done married my buddy Zeke.
See?
Howdy.
How's fishing?
Not even a nibble.
You see what these sicko liberals are making us do?
Makes me sick.
Before gay marriage was legalized, I could have married any lady I wanted. Cuts to now, and I'm stuck here married to Bobby.
Yep. We decided to go ahead and get it done before the government made us do it.
You still got the gun?
We got rid of all the guns, though. That's the next thing the government's gonna come after. Ain't that right, Zeke?
Apparently, the man doesn't think it's safe to have guns in the house when you got a little kid running around.
You guys
Pussies.
have a kid.
My dads are awesome. They're always holding hands and kissing because that's what the government wants them to do.
Yep.
And they said when I grow up, I can be anything I want to be. And that sexuality is fluid because that's the way things are running anyways.
Now she's gonna go
Liberals.
off and get a good Ivy League education, come back here and take my job.
Yep.
It's just another immigrant taking an American job away.
I thought you were in your own business.
I do. I run a clinic for unwed mothers.
You're a doctor?
We make love in this bed every night.
Fucking
Because
liberals.
pretty soon there's gonna be an amendment where we have to do it anyway.
We better get going. It's almost time for mosque.
What?
Oh yeah, we're Muslim now.
Yeah.
Gay night like Wouldn't have to speak Vietnamese, they just make English the national language.
Exactly. Exactly. You see? You see how it makes sense, and you see what the woke agenda does to Americans, what it does to real, you know, red-blooded Americans, how it takes you and turns you into a sick, disgusting groomer. Look at this. Two happily married gay men going to mosque with their adopted daughter. It's fucking disgusting. Look at that. Look at them grooming her on how to play a piano.
They're always
Look at
holding
this.
hands and kissing because that's what the government wants them
Exactly.
to do. And they said when I grow up, I can be anything I want to be. And that sexuality is fluid because that's the way things are running anyways.
I mean, could you imagine kissing a man? Could you imagine like looking into his beautiful eyes and his chiseled chest and just grabbing him by his fucking waist and pulling him close to you and fucking deeply kissing him with his, you know, your tongue, and you're so fucking, you know, into him and he's so into you, and you just rip each other's clothes off. Could you imagine that? How gross that would be terrible. I would not like that. It's my worst nightmare. And look at this.
Yes,
Woke
don't go off and
agenda
get a-
manifest right there in front of you. There it is. Folks, in all seriousness, LGBTQ plus A12, whatever it is, and I'm not diminishing them, it's just it changes every time I hear it. But basically LGBTQ everybody, right, whatever it is, are under attack cynically by politicians who are desperate for a boogeyman to distract from their actual policies that are actually destroying Americans' lives. You got right-wingers that are, you know, giving away billions to oligarchs, doing nothing for their constituents, right? And they can say, oh, well, I'm attacking the woke, I'm attacking LGBT, they're coming after your kids. It's a massive distraction. and it's dangerous. It will lead to people getting killed. And what I wanted to show here with this article, city votes unanimously to ban pride flags to respect the religious rights of our citizens. Fuck right off. The religious right to isn't this great? The religious right to ban other people from thinking and feeling certain ways, right? Their right to oppress you. Their right to oppress you. Yeah, Greek salad. I mean, it's a lot of problems. You know, there's a lot of intersecting issues that are creating this kind of ignorance that we're seeing. We have to push back on it. And I wanted to bring up this article because I wanted to point out that, hey, being a squeaky wheel works. You know what I mean? The fascists are winning because they're shameless. They show up. And they show up. Doesn't matter that they're wrong. If they're the only people in the room, guess which direction we go in? The left needs to activate and organize. And look, it's my 3-step program. All right? People get sick and tired of me saying it too fucking bad. Because guess what? It's the only solution. Step 1, inform yourself. Step 2, join a progressive political organization in your area. There are thousands. Google it. Step 3, put in the work. Donate some money. Donate some time. Ask yourself, what am I doing? Every month, ask yourself, what am I doing for the movement to create change? Let me tell you, the fascists are donating. The fascists are squeaky wheels, and they're using underhanded tactics and techniques to subvert and attack LGBTQ people because it's politically advantageous. It's disgusting. LGBTQ people aren't trying to groom your fucking children. They're just trying to read a goddamn book to them. Heaven forbid. Meanwhile, church is packed with pedophiles, diddling kids on the daily. Well, let's give them a slap on the wrist and send them to a new church. That's the right way to do it. Yeah, Panda Man, I'm well aware that religious institutions think LGBTQ people are subhuman. I'm also aware that religious institutions are fucking trash. Tax them into oblivion. Tax them into oblivion. That's what I say. Pay your fucking taxes, pastor. Anyway, you want to read the whole article? It's right here. I'll read the first couple paragraphs here real quick. City near Detroit has banned pride flags. Of course, Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, it's my hometown, Michigan. I miss it. Pride flags flying from on public property. City Council of Hamtramck, I've never even heard of this place. Wow, Michigan voted unanimously. So it's just a city. It's not the whole state of Michigan. Voted unanimously against pride flag after what we were. God, I'm having a hard time reading it. Hold on. Voted unanimously against the pride flag after what were reportedly a contentious few months that culminated in a 3-hour public comment period. And this is what I'm talking about. Lefties need to show up. You know what I mean? If we gotta be the loudest voice in the room again. We gotta be annoying again. The entire Hamtramck. How the hell does one say this? Hamtramck City Council is Muslim. Ah, yeah, okay. So this is Muslim bigotry. Great. Oh, that's great. Are about 50% of city's residents. The Detroit Free Press reported that council members argued that while LGBTQ plus people are welcome in the city, oh, well, isn't that nice? Flying the pride flag would disrespect the religious freedom of others. That's adorable. That's adorable. Quote, we want to respect the religious rights of our citizens. Yeah, that's what it's about, right? Sure it is. I wonder how they'd feel about someone putting a picture of Muhammad in their window. Said Councilman Naeem Chowdhury, you guys are welcome. Cute. But why do you have the flag shown on government property to be represented? Why do you have to have the flag shown on government property to be represented? You're already represented. No, you're not. No, they're not. We already know who you are. By making this about bigotry, it's making it like you want to hate us. Isn't this cute? You're not allowed to be a bigot against my bigotry. I have the free speech and religious freedom to be a bigot. Isn't this great? You're a bigot if you call me a bigot, even though I'm trying to act bigoted. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. The right wing's lies are shameless, and they know no limits. There's no limits to this. Listen to this. This is absolutely unbelievable. Okay, so here's Matt Walsh, an absolute scumbag. Scum of the earth, Matt Walsh. Says the Trevor Project, which Fox says is devoted to helping, quote, LGBTQ young people. Listen to this. Hosts a sexually explicit chat room that connects children as young as 13 years old with LGBT adults. Whoa. You believe that? You believe that? This Trevor Project is connecting 13-year-olds to adults, and the chat is sexually explicit? So here's what the Trevor Project actually does. The Trevor Project is a suicide hotline for trans and queer youth, right? So trans and queer youth are speaking to trained adults, right? And the chat can sometimes get sexually explicit because we're talking about gender and sex and all these other things, right? Oh, I gave a hand job to a guy. Oh, sexually explicit. You know, and then he beat me up. You know, I gave a hand job to a guy and then he beat my ass. And, you know, I need, you know, and I feel like trash. And he said, I'm not human. And he said, I'm terrible. And I was in love with him and I want to kill myself. Right. And this is how Matt Walsh frames that outreach program. Look at these adults trying to talk to kids. Well, I'm sorry. Adults are the only ones qualified to speak to young adults, young teenagers, about these things. We don't want other. And look at Elon Musk over here. Where's my? Oh, I got rid of it. I did get rid of my Metal Gear Solid shit. I got to put that on a different one. I had like a. Oh man, I suck. I used to have my I replaced it with this. What am I doing? I don't give a shit what Michael Knowles has to say. He can suck my entire fucking ball sack and taint. Anyway, the right wing are dangerous, and I mean, you know, framing a suicide hotline as like this is so dishonest. It's dangerous. It's stochastic terrorism. Right? It really is. All right. So moving on from LGBTQ issues, which are very important. But unfortunately, we don't have all the time in the world. But moving on from LGBTQ issues, Sarah Palin asked if Trump supporters are cult members. This is amazing. She asks, "Well, are Trump supporters cult members?" She goes, "No, they're not cult members," and then proceeds to describe what would be described as exactly what a cult member is. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. I think she's stupid. I think she's actually dumb. I think she's like literally actually dumb. It's hard to believe that someone would attempt to lie like this, you know, to lie to people like this. It's weird, right? In any other context, it would be weird. Like if she was like some kind of Machiavellian savant, right, trying to trick everybody, she wouldn't try to lie like this. But listen to this. It's mind-blowing on Newsmax, of course. It looks like a joke, right? It looks like a parody. It looks like some kind of setup for some kind of sketch, doesn't it? Miss Moon Nazi still around? Well, she covered herself in fucking 3 layers of makeup and she's on Newsmax. She's winning. Okay? She's winning. That wig looks terrible. I mean, honestly, it does kind of look, I mean, it looks like a sketch, yo. You know what I mean?
I was with the Trump motorcade yesterday, and I would say that the people at Versailles at the Cuban restaurant, I wouldn't call them cult members, would you?
No, the definition of a cult is a group of people who are excessively supporting one another and a cause, all about conformity and compliance and intolerance of anyone who doesn't agree with what their mission is. Okay, that's the definition of what the left.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that is like literally the definition of being on the right. How quickly does one get? Look at Ann Coulter, right? Look at Liz Cheney. How quickly does one get ejected from this? From this if they have wrongthink, right? Adam Schiff, another one, right? We're not cult members. We just it's extreme projection. Extreme. Welcome, Michael Richards. Oh no, Michael. Oh no. Oh. And Marowi. I used to be able to say this. Marowi. It's a Hawaiian word, isn't it? Marowi meter. I know I'm fucking that up. Sorry.
Is engaged in right now. Speaking of cults, all about conformity and compliance, and heaven forbid you don't agree with them.
You know the funny, ironic, horrific thing about the left is that we need more conformity. We need more agreement. We need more factions of the left to agree on certain base level things. We can't even get into, if you got a bunch of left people, left organizations in the room, we wouldn't even get past the definition of like what does even single payer healthcare even mean? Right? That's all it would take. Just one person would have to ask that question and the entire meeting would be scuttled. Right? Because we can't even agree on what we all want. And here's the right, the right is more fractured than what they appear, obviously, right? With Trump being the wedge between the Republican Party. But they are surprisingly lockstep on a lot of policy, right? And it's basically, stab yourself in the gut, hurt yourself, punish yourself, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, insanity. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. I mean, the BLM protests, for a little while there, the BLM protests were quite unifying. It's a shame about BLM and the situation with the entire organization. Hopefully the left can learn lessons from BLM that they'll take forward, right? Because it was really firing on all cylinders there for a couple months. So bad news. I just wanted to warn everybody that's watching this. I wanted to, do my due diligence and public service here, but the Fed pauses its rate hiking campaign, announcing no new increase. Interest rates hikes, absolutely affect your life. This is interesting. Fear and greed index. Extreme greed is driving U.S. market. Wow, no shit. What the hell is this? The fear and greed index. and the ad for senior internet. What's senior internet? What's the difference? Is it just really slow? That's just insulting to seniors, man. Leave some. You get some some fucking dial-up internet. They're calling it senior internet now. There's no reason to pay more than $10 a month for internet in 2023. Okay. You can check all your kids' Facebook pages for $10 a month. All right, it's extreme greed, guys. 82%. Wow. Let's go ahead and just watch the video instead of hearing me read. Reading sucks, am I right? Man, reading sucks. I hate it.
America's Federal Reserve Board meets on Tuesday with a key decision to make about interest rates. That'll be announced on Wednesday. We've now seen 10 consecutive rate hikes as officials have tried to slow down the pace of inflation.
Well, Davey, it's right here, buddy. Oh, nope, the ad's gone. Sorry, you missed your chance. Oh, you missed your chance to get $10 internet. Sorry, buddy, you missed out. The ad has changed to something for Letterkenny.
That took hold in the pandemic, but some investors hope an 11th rate rise can be avoided for now, with implications not only for the US economy, but quite frankly for the rest of the global economy. CNN's Matt Egan following the big meeting from New York. We've had some data out.
You think that's a real window? Do you think? I don't know. Try to figure out if that's a real window or not in the chat.
Today, let's just start with that. What is it indicating?
Becky, this is more indication that inflation continues to cool off, which of course is a huge relief. This time
it's not a real window.
Last year, inflation was like a wildfire, right? Threatening to consume the U.S., if not the world economy. It looks increasingly like the wildfire is not put out, but it does seem more contained. So today's report showed that consumer prices increased by 4% year over year in May. Now that's not healthy, but
it's not a green screen. It's not a green screen. It's just like a wallpaper.
As you can see on your chart, that is another step in the right direction. This is 11 straight months of cooling. We're miles away from the peak of that line chart.
Yeah, no, but is CNN going to talk about the greedflation? Is CNN going to talk about, why these prices are increasing? It's not just inflation. It really isn't just inflation. All right, these companies, if it was just inflation, these companies would be like, oh, our profits are like, we made profit, but we didn't make record profit, right? People are spending less and, things got more expensive. It's not. These companies are coming back like, cha-ching, baby. People, we got to normalize these prices right away. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing articles about how, the price of food is never going down. Get used to it. Those are the articles that they're trying to, brace us for, the reality they're trying to brace us for. Paying fucking, $10 a dozen for eggs. Welcome back, Al Rakabi.
Summer at 9.1%. That was a 4-decade high. So all of that is very good news. I think the bad news is that it does look like underlying inflation pressures are pretty stubborn here.
I'll get to your questions after the clip.
They look at core inflation, and core inflation was up by 0.4% month over month.
I don't know about that, Lucian.
That is the third straight month.
See that? Look at this. You see, look at this. This is how they control inflation. Look at this. This is how Joe Biden controls inflation, guys. See, this is in the White House. This is in his office, right? He's got a lever that goes up, and he's got a lever that goes down, and he keeps going up. Joe Biden keeps pulling the lever up. Trump pushes the lever down. Trump pushes the lever down, right? Biden pulls the lever up. Okay? Where's my $1 million right-wing media contract, please? I'm doing the media thing. Come on, I'm doing the thing. Give me the money. Come on, give me that Steven Crowder money, you fucking fascists. Biden go up. Trump go down.
Also, 5.3%.
I'm doing the thing.
That really hasn't come down very much from the peak. That is well above what is considered healthy. So I think, Becky, big picture here, it is clear that inflation has gotten better.
Oh my God,
but it's also
Becky.
Clear it's nowhere near back to normal yet. And in fact, it may need some more inflation-fighting medicine from the Fed.
Yeah, and guess what Slick Willie here thinks what is inflation-fighting medicine? Lowering your fucking wages. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Oh, we got to lower those wages. We got to lower those wages. You think Slick Willie over here is going to tell you, "Oh yeah, we need to go after the profits of some of the biggest thieves"? Absolutely not. Oh, we got to protect those profits 100%. We can't have, Procter and Gamble, having a bad day on the stock market. Heaven forbid. So we got to go after your wages, middle class. Fuck these people.
Does that mean a hike then this week, or are we at that point at which they can hold?
Well, Becky, it does look like today's inflation report does give the Fed cover to do nothing at tomorrow's meeting. Investors are becoming increasingly confident that the Fed is going to keep interest rates steady after, as you can see on your screen, 10 consecutive interest rate hikes. The Fed has been moving more aggressively than it has.
And it's always the Democratic administrations that are doing this, right? It's the Republicans that go, I guess, did Obama do, was it negative? It was like 0 during Obama's entire presidency. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But it does feel like it's the Democrats that are always having to make us swallow these pills. And it's the Republicans that are lowering the interest rate and, everyone gets free money. The banks get free money.
has at any point since the early 1980s. But at last check, markets are pricing at a 94% chance that the Fed keeps rates steady tomorrow. That is up from an 80% chance yesterday.
Good. Someone's making
that
some
would be
money.
Good news from the market's perspective. U.S. markets are up as we speak, up modestly. This would also be good news for consumers who are already dealing with high borrowing costs for mortgages and car loans, student debt, credit card debt. They don't want to see interest rates go any higher. Unfortunately, though, the Fed may not be done. Even though markets do think that the Fed is going to do nothing tomorrow, pause, there's roughly a 2 in 3 chance being priced into the market as we speak that the Fed has to do more work in July, raising interest rates by another quarter of a point. And I think the question, Becky, is whether or not they can actually stop altogether anytime soon. And of course, that's going to depend on what happens next on the inflation and the jobs front.
Yeah, put this on the fucking backs of the middle class and the lower class. That's what it is. It's what it always is. What it always is, man. To control inflation, to try and get inflation under control. All right, Jesus Christ, all these goddamn questions. Who cares? Who cares what my opinion on anything is? Does anyone actually care? All right, I'm going to pause the YouTube video. All right, welcome back, YouTube. Cut back in. We're talking about Paul Krugman over here talking about a wage hike spiral being the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. The Paul Krugmans of the world are the problem. We need to go after the motherfucking profits. We need to go after the oligarchy that's sucking us dry. And then when there's a problem, they put the whole goddamn weight on the middle class. The lower, anything lower than the middle class, ignored at best. Fuck Paul Krugman, wage hike spiral. Wage price spiral that is persisting despite a weak economy, although that's the problem. People are just getting paid too much. Oh, you got to raise that work? Oh, you're part of the problem. You got to raise? Oh, how could you be so mean against the economy? You're getting paid more to feed your family. Yeah, they're charging $10 a dozen for eggs, Paul Krugman. You wouldn't fucking know that, would you, Paul? Think Paul Krugman does his own grocery shopping? Maybe he does. But we don't have a weak economy. We have inflation because we have a booming economy with supply chains having trouble keeping up with the boom in goods consumption. And there's no hint of wage price spiral. Oh, I think probably maybe. Oh, okay. God damn it. Maybe read the whole quote here. Okay, hold on. There is also a possible argument for temporary controls to break a wage price spiral that is persisting despite a weak economy. Although making that work is so hard that it would be a strategy of last resort. But we don't have a weak economy. We have inflation because we have a booming economy with supply chains having trouble keeping up with the boom in goods consumption. And there's no hint of a wage price spiral. I think probably, maybe, I hope that inflation will subside as demand gets less skewed and supply chains adjust. Price controls would just screw up that adjustment. Not all bad ideas come from the right. Interesting. Okay, I don't really know much about economics. And I take back my criticisms. I mean, not all my criticisms of Paul Krugman, but these ones about, misconstruing what he was saying about wage price hikes, wage price spiral. He's saying there isn't. The economy's blowing up. I would say the real problem is greed. Real problem is greed in terms of prices. But I'm not an economist. I can't even read a Twitter thread properly, right? You're going to take my advice on economics? I can't even fucking read properly. All right, so moving on. Woke Patriot brought this up. I guess we should do just a quick follow-up about, pertaining to the writer's strike. It is important. Exclusive and Apple TV Plus executive talk streaming the strike of global television. In February, I posted some thoughts from an anonymous Netflix executive who discussed many rooms and other issues that were likely to be part of the upcoming negotiations with the WGA. This week, I spoke with an executive at Apple TV who also agreed to talk as long as their anonymity was preserved for obvious reasons. Boy, that's where we're at. You gotta hide your identity from fucking Daddy Apple. It was a wide-ranging conversation, and the quotes included here have only been slightly edited for clarity and to protect the identity of the executive. Question: we're a bit more than a month into the WGA strike. What is your sense on how it's going from the studio side? So this is an insider's POV. To be clear, I'm not part of the direct conversations, or I don't have any direct responsibility on negotiating strategy, but I do have a pretty good perspective on where we are as a company. Like most of the people aren't C-suite management. I am sympathetic to a lot of the arguments put forth by writers. I think the current mini room situation, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, mini room, I don't know, has had a real impact on the future of our industry, and we definitely need to figure out a way to train young writers. That being said, this is all about money. Any streaming platform is looking for cost savings anywhere that can be found. It's coming out of the writers' pockets for sure, but it's not personal. This isn't a matter of not wanting to pay writers what they're worth, but when they're trying to watch budgets, you cut anywhere you can, and the truth is that includes writers and other support staff. I hate this wishy-washy bullshit. They know what the fuck they're doing. They know who they're fucking over, and they know who they're screwing. Oh, it's not personal. It's just business. They're just trying to cut content. Yeah, man. I mean, the writing is the most important part of the show, right? You're not going to replace the human creativity. Which gets back to my point about the strike. The only way writers will get money or time or anything else is getting what they want into a contract. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In a word, a mini room is a smaller version of a full-scale writer's room. Really? The writer's room was too much? What is pizza delivery too fucking expensive now? There are less people at the table with no promise of a show coming to fruition. What? So let's put less time and effort into making shows great, right? Oh, this is costing too much money. Bail, bail, bail. Oh my God. This isn't about superheroes. Get out of here. Close the mini room. All right, last question and answer. How effective are the WGA memes that... Okay, I don't give a shit about the memes. Whatever. You want to read the rest of this, it's right here. But here's your writers strike update. It's important. It's entertainment, but it is important, right? And it affects our entertainment, man. Some of these decisions that are being made, like with The Witcher, you know, oh, we got to get Henry Cavill out of here. He likes The Witcher too much. He wants to do the material justice. Run away. Right? They fucked up Game of Thrones. They're shitting all over Star Wars. The atrocious things they're doing to Star Trek. They're massacring my boy right in front of me, right? With the Star Trek shit. Right? It is important, even though it's just entertainment. But hey, we try to stay focused on the serious things here. This is serious. It is important, but let's move on. What are they doing to Star Trek? So, first thing I need to mention, motherfucker's hat. Right? Why are we scared of these people? Mean tweets 2024. Why are these people winning? I'd give them Game of Thrones out of that list. That was due to the actors rather than the writers. The actors, bro. It was the writers, man. You're defending those terrible ass writers that rushed through so that they could go direct Star Wars, and then they got fired from the job. We're defending this now. Oh, it wasn't that bad. The ending was atrocious. All these characters didn't make sense. She's freeing the slaves at the beginning of her arc, and then she's annihilating a city for no fucking reason at the end of it. Cersei dying like a, like what was that ending, man? Holy shit, it was like a Poochie ending. My planet needs me. I must go now. Rocks fall from the sky. That's all she gets. Anyway, I wanted to bring this up. Mean tweets 2024. These people are clowns. He didn't even bother to shave for his fucking interview. Look at this guy. They're winning. How? We gotta out-organize. We gotta out-organize these fools. Look at this guy. This is one of the most shameless propagandists I've ever seen in my life. When you see this man in action, the bile, the sarcasm, the cynicism that fucking oozes from his mouth, right? One thing he loves to do is he loves to find left-wingers that are in over their head and then interview them. And, you know, I think he do the anti-work, the mod from the anti-work subreddit. Didn't he do the interview for that one? Oh boy, he loves doing that. Somebody's going to have to pull a trigger to stop Trump prosecution. So I don't have my fascist segment today. I just kind of merged it all with the U.S. So this will be your quick fash update. But the rhetoric keeps expanding. The rhetoric keeps, getting bigger and bigger. These guys are pussies. These guys are cowards. But that's why they use guns, you know? And what they are looking for is a leader, is a politician, whoever it is, an authoritarian, whatever, that says, yep, use your guns, boys. It's time. You've been waiting. Finger on the trigger. Well, guess what? It's time. Get your ass out there, boys. You won't get arrested. If you shoot a liberal, you won't get arrested. You're doing the world a favor. The more the more irrelevant the Republican Party gets, right? The more people run away from them, the more that they're going to have to depend on violence to keep a constituency, to keep that pool of people fresh and alive. They're going to have to start using violence to do that. This is great. Retired Major League Baseball pitcher turned right-wing commentator Curt Schilling. Oh, no! Oh, no! Told Fox News host Jesse Waters on Friday that somebody's going to have to pull a trigger in retaliation to the criminal charges that were filed against former President Donald Trump, the United States Justice Department Special Counsel Jack Smith. I got one thing to say to the right wing that thinks that they're going to solve their party problems with guns. Lefties shoot back, motherfucker. Lefties shoot back. You think you think because we're not parading around with our toys in the streets that we're not fully prepared to defend ourselves? Oh, you're dead wrong. Oh, you're dead wrong. Black people, LGBTQ people, they're getting the message. They're getting the message that you're coming for them, right? You're telling us, we're coming for you. We're coming for you. You don't think we're ready? We're smarter. We're more fit on average. We actually exercise, right? We're more competent. We're more capable of strategic coordination. And you know what? We're not fucking cowards either. So when the bullets start flying, guess who's going to run their fat ass back to the Denny's while the left is claiming victories? I don't care if you're I was saying black people need to be armed because they're under attack. Their race is used cynically by right wingers. Right? Oh yeah, justified shooting. Right? Now, I'm just telling this to the right wingers. You got it all wrong that you think you're just going to roll in with your little freshly bought from Kmart kit and take this whole shit over. You're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. When the bullets start flying, guess who's going to be running like scared bitches? Right? Ain't no fucking lying on this show. All right, let's get back to U.S. news here. There's your Fash update. Panda Man brings up a really good point that the right wing are turning into martyrs some of the most horrible people, like Derek Chauvin, like Ashley Babbitt, like Kyle Rittenhouse, like Zimmerman, right? Turning these characters into heroes is all I need to see to know how dangerous these people are. They see lawlessness and they go, I wish that was me. I wish that was me. Nick Fuentes is one of the worst, man. you know what's curious? You know what's interesting to me about Nick Fuentes? He's the autistic bellwether, right? He's like that magic hat that you put on in Harry Potter, right? Tells all the dirty little secrets of the person, right? Gets to read their mind. Nick Fuentes is telling us exactly what they're thinking. Nick Fuentes is telling us exactly what they want. They're pedophiles. They want to marry 16-year-old girls or younger, right? Because we saw Nick Fuentes say that. Then we saw some other more extreme right-winger on his own fucking, the guy who does the kill stream, be like, yeah, 16's a good start, but we should start talking about younger. Nick Fuentes over here is autistic as can be, telling us exactly what the right wing is really thinking, what the right wing really wants to do. He's a pussy too, that Nick Fuentes. Snap him like a goddamn twig. I'm supposed to be scared of this man? Barely call him one. He doesn't look like a man. He looks like a boy. You know? Looking like Shirley Temple. 22-year-old Shirley Temple. Smoke some more cigarettes, drink some more coffee. Gotta stay young, Shirley. Yeah, the silly little fight video with Nick Fuentes and what's his nuts. Why the fuck was Nick Fuentes wearing rain boots? He's wearing rain boots and sunglasses. That was a Kanye thing, wasn't it? He's out here wearing galoshes and shit. What, you going to the goddamn farm later, Nick? He's out here wearing these lumpy ass rain boots and shit, looking stupid as shit. Anyway, God, you can get me talking about Nick Fuentes, man. I can go on and on, man. Goddamn. Sign the paper, Nick Fuentes. Anytime, any day. Sign the contract. Sign the paper, Nick Fuentes. Get in the ring with your boy. Give me 10 minutes with your ass. Give me 10 fucking minutes with you, Fuentes. I'm begging you. Sign the paper. Open invitation to Nick Fuentes anytime, anywhere. Bro, I'm at my mother's funeral and Nick Fuentes shows up. It's on. It's on. I'm no professional, but I can kick Nick Fuentes' ass. I tell you what, any fucking day. And I'm on my deathbed. Nick Fuentes showing up. Let's go. Let's go. I'm no professional, but I can take Nick Fuentes, suck my entire taint. But I'll just say mean words to him. Moving on. Collins, this is great. The whataboutism coming out of you know what I mean? It's like, so Trump is indicted on 37 counts. What about Hillary? What about emails? What about Hunter Biden's big juicy dick? Okay, yeah, those things are things, but also the guy that you worship is like super in trouble. A couple of these kinds, one or two, have to do with treason. The highest crime an American citizen could commit. Yeah, well, Hillary Clinton said at the Benghazi meeting that you suck. The Republicans are deplorable and stuff. Have you read these emails? It's really pathetic. And you know what's pathetic, though, is that people still eating it up. People still buying it. Because they know it's bullshit, but it reinforces their pre-existing notions, right?
Incredibly divided country. And when Republicans feel like there's one system of justice.
Yeah, when, holding criminals to account, that divides the country.
Justice for them and a different for Democrats. There's one standard for Hillary Clinton and a different for Donald Trump.
And look, hey, Lethal Leprechaun, would you like to play a game? You have one opportunity to say yes or no. Would you like to play a game, Leprechaun? Hello?
Doesn't help bring our country together.
But the allegations are not the same for Hillary Clinton. Without defending,
because she never was investigated. She never was investigated.
She was never investigated. How many hours was she interrogated during the Benghazi meetings? How many hundreds of millions was spent digging into Benghazi? She was never investigated.
She had a BleachBit server. She had a bleach bit. She destroyed phones.
She had a bleach
but she
bit.
was investigated.
To be honest, I actually fully agree that Hillary Clinton using a separate email server when she should have been using government email servers is an incredible. She's a criminal. She should go to fucking jail. I'm not sitting here carrying water for Hillary fucking Clinton. She needs to go to jail. That's an incredible breach of the Congressional Records Act. So yes, what about her emails? Send her ass to jail. Moving on about Trump, right? I don't disagree. I'm not defending Hillary Clinton staying out of jail. She needs to go to jail. Completely separate email server. All the shit that the fucking Clinton Foundation gets up to. Send her ass to jail. Anyway, moving on about the criminal we're actually talking about. Right? Why is that so difficult for CNN? Because CNN loves Hillary. Oh, right. And this is the problem with liberal media. This is a major problem with liberal media, not accepting reality. Right? When's the last time you've heard CNN say, well, factually, actually, there is some crimes there. Right? It's this pushback. Right? And then we get this, it's this game that they play now.
And we very famously had, the FBI
Not
director
in
at
the
the
same
time
level.
talking about that. But is it
Who was in charge? Slick? God damn, was she the queen of the Botox fucking brigade? No, I mean, honestly, the Republicans were in charge. They had all, they could have done it.
that because of the level of the allegations is different?
She had 22 top secret documents. Trump had 17.
She gave them back. The problem, it's fascinating. This is fascinating because with Trump, the problem is not that he had them. The problem is that he just refused to give them back and just straight up lied that he had them. And then when he was called out on it, he was like, well, I actually have a right to have them. And he's still saying that in court. Well, these are mine. These are mine. I have a right to do that. I declassified them. These are mine. He still wants to keep them. He doesn't want to give them back. What are you doing with them? What is the goal? If it's just souvenirs, holy it can't just be souvenirs at this point, right? So that's the problem. They say, oh, what about Hillary? What about Joe Biden? They had secret documents as well. Yeah, they gave them back immediately. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know I had these. I had some fucking banker's box from, Joe Biden didn't even know he had them. Honestly, I swear to God, I think he didn't even fucking know he had them. He's like, oh, I don't know. I've been in government for, ever since I was a goddamn 6-year-old boy. I don't know. Probably have some. Barack Obama went through and retroactively made millions of documents top secret. Most transparent president in history. I remember when he did that. That was shocking. Most transparent president in history. Went after Snowden like a fucking beast and literally made every document that crossed his desk top secret. Right. So like retroactively, you could look up a document on the internet that was posted on the internet. Oh, that's actually top secret now. You're not allowed to report on that. That's the kind of shit that was going on in the Obama era.
There were emails that were classified at the time that weren't later on. He was holding on to U.S. nuclear secrets, information about U.S. allies.
I haven't seen the process play out,
dick.
and he hasn't had a chance to defend himself. But we know this. We know that she didn't get indicted. We know her home wasn't raided. We know his was. We also know we have a...
Can this pretty white lady on the left please point out that she gave the documents back?
President in Joe Biden, who isn't addressing the American people in a time of crisis, a deeply divided country. I think a former president being indicted is a time of crisis. And to not hear from our president, to have Joe Biden hiding again and not bringing people together.
Come on, Mary Tyler Moore. Say it. Come on, Mary Tyler Moore. Say it.
So we'll let the process play out, but I will...
Oh, my God. Kill me. Roblox. Thanks, Roblox. I'm going to go play some Roblox. You know what I'm saying? Mary Tyler Moore over here couldn't even point out that she gave the emails back. You can't just squeeze that in there? They're so pathetic. They're so bad at this. She just walked all over them. Just walked all over her pretty little face. Man, it's embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing how pathetic CNN and MSNBC are. They're just so bad at this. I'm not talking about Cornel West because I only want to talk about serious things. So let's talk about Gavin Newsom. I don't know. He's doing some West Wing style slam dunks against Hannity. I question whether I should show the whole interview. I don't know if my soul can take 50 minutes of Hannity. Go ahead and vote in the chat there. Do you want to watch the entire Sean Hannity Gavin Newsom interview. I won't do it today, but I'll do a special stream, later in the week. Just do, this one video. Do you want to see this entire interview? Here's your sample. We'll do a 50-second sample, and you tell me if you want to see this whole thing.
This is the honest way to be the fourth largest economy in the world. What are you arguing for? Mississippi's economic policy? Literally, that's what you're arguing for. If I wanted the great Kansas policy, it was a debacle. No economic growth. 71% of the GDP in America are in blue counties. I would 71%.
And look, I will say this, one of the main strategies Hannity and a lot of these right-wing bluster fucks like to use is talking over the person once they start making their point, tripping them up, stepping over their words, contradicting them as they're speaking, not backing down. And you'll notice Hannity refuses to back down. He's basically a low vibration hum during every response from Gavin Newsom, who is doing the right strategy. Speaking over him, finishing his point, right? That's the only way to combat it. It really is the only way. There's far too many lefty Democrats that think talking over the right winger that's talking over them makes them look bad, makes them look rude, makes them look too domineering, right? So he has the right strategy when in these interviews. This is something I would like to see Marianne Williamson and RFK do. And I don't take them seriously. In fact, with RFK, I think he's a dangerous son of a bitch with this anti-vax bullshit. Anyway, let's get this one more time.
This is the honest way to be the fourth largest economy in the world. What are you arguing for? Mississippi's economic policy? Literally, that's what you're arguing for. If I wanted the great Kansas policy, it was a debacle. No economic growth. 71% of the GDP in America are in blue counties. I would 71% of the GDP in America are blue counties. Progressive policies.
Okay, that are paying high taxes and
71% of the country's wealth. 7 of the top 10 dependent states are your states.
Let's say you.
No, we're subsidizing your states, Sean, because of your policies.
I'm in New York. You're not subsidizing anything for me.
But your philosophy.
I'm getting.
It's so slimy. Beyond me, I'm in New York. We're not talking about you, Hannity, you son of a bitch, and you fucking know that, you slime bag. This is the only way to win against this, right? They win. Look at him. He's all orange, dude. He's like a Trump. Look at him. Is he going to run for president soon? He is, isn't he? He's going to run on the Trump that isn't a maniac, but I'm still Trump platform, isn't he? Look at him. He's looking. Look at the color difference between his face and his hands. Look at that shit, dude. Holy shit. He's trumping it up. Trumping it up, man. He's trumping it up. Holy shit. Look at the hair and the face. He's trumping it up.
The hell out of New York, though. Mississippi, Alabama, I'm all for it over New York or California.
This is how you fight it. This is how you fight it. Honestly.
Yeah. I love Mississippi. But what you say, governor leaves me one.
I'm sure. Okay, Gavin, thank you so much. And he fucks it up at the end. Yeah, I don't like Gavin Newsom's neoliberal policies. But I think he can, hold down a conversation a little bit better than Joe Biden. So, yeah, I'll take him. Sure, I'll vote for him. Whatever. Real quick, RFK, he's dangerous. Stop listening to him. Joe Rogan, of course, fully agreeing with RFK. Oh, wow, I didn't believe your anti-vax stuff until I became an anti-vaxxer. Oh, now I'm an anti-vaxxer. Everyone should have taken monoclonal antibodies. It's only like $5,000 a visit. All you got to do is take monoclonal antibodies, and that fixes it. I didn't even need to get the vaccine. He got the vaccine. Shut the fuck up. He got the vaccine. Oh, yeah, Joe, you didn't get the vaccine. You got the vaccine, you fucking liar. I just take monoclonal antibodies, and I'm good. Just wanted to point it out. He's a lunkhead. He's dangerous. He's a conservative. He's a fucking conservative. Look at this. Is this the Black Rifle Coffee Company? That right-wing extremist coffee company? Get that improved Wi-Fi, Lenny. Get that cell signal improved. with that 6th shot. Yeah, I got my boosters. I'm fine. I had a kid. I was way vaccinated. I had a kid, no problem. Things are going great. All right. Everyone's favorite segment, America's favorite segment, mass shooting update. How many mass shootings do we have in America over the last week? Let's find out. That's not a good. I need to find a better game show song. Hold on. This is falling apart. Nope, this is completely falling apart. Here we go. There we go. All right, 353 U.S. mass shootings in 2023, 5,488 mass shootings since 2013, and 0 whole days since the last mass shooting. And here comes Panda Man, of course. You are such a blatant fucking conservative, all right? Tim Pool, he doesn't call himself a conservative. Joe Rogan's not a conservative. Stop the madness. Stop the madness. Joe Rogan said some liberal stuff a couple years ago. He's not a right winger. Every segment, every fucking thing that comes out of his fucking mouth is right wing now. Fuck you, dude. I'm sick of your gaslighting. I'm about to send you on your way, dude. Every fucking day. Oh, that's not real. That's not real. He's not right wing. Joe Rogan's not a right winger. Absolute bullshit. Joe Rogan is as right wing as it fucking gets, man. Spreading anti-vax bullshit on top of a myriad of other right wing opinions. Tim Pool not a right winger? What? Chicago, Illinois, 0 dead and 5 injured, gunmen unknowns. Good to note that less than 50% of the murders committed in the United States are actually solved. Good chance you can commit murder and get away with it. Over there in Indianapolis, Illinois, 0 dead and 4 injured, gunmen unknown. Just shooting around. Just boys having fun. Guns firing in the air. Clifton, New Jersey, 0 dead and 4 injured, gunmen unknown. Keep running. I'm sure these are all legal guns, too. Carson, California, 0 dead and 8 injured. Juvenile victim, at least one juvenile, a 16-year-old girl among the wounded. Gunman unknown. Hey, 16-year-old girl. Well, I'm sure she was woke. Woke 16-year-old, right? Maybe she should have, learned how to shoot a gun herself, right? Over there in Baltimore, Maryland, 0 dead and 6 injured. Juvenile victim, 17-year-old boy among the wounded. Gunman unknown. We'll keep on running, and hopefully that gun was legal, young man. There you go, folks. There is your mass shooting update, America's #1 favorite segment. America's mass shooting update. Garbage Fuel, of course, sponsoring this segment, would like to remind you that this is the new normal. And Garbage Fuel would like to thank conservatives like Panda Man for carrying water for fascists and right-wing ideas that are ruining and poisoning America. Thank you so much, Garbage Fuel, sponsoring this segment. All right, there you go, YouTube. That's my update on US. Bye.